Good day YouTube, update 39 is just around the corner. It will be arriving on August the 21st for PC Mac, September the 5th for Xbox and PlayStation. In today's video, I want to dive a little bit into the PvP aspect, some of the changes that will be coming along the way, some of the gears that they're going to be introducing, and then some of my opinion on these changes. So without further ado, let's go in. Now, the very first addition, which is mentioned in the official Elder Scrolls Online webpage, is the inclusion of a PvP death notification. So there will be a new system added to your PvP clash that essentially gives you additional information about how the battle in Cyrodiil and Imperial City is going. Like currently right now, we have a cross-sword icon appearing at the top of our UI, which will indicate to us which alliance is involved in a skirmish in the map itself. Now, in addition to that, what ZOS intends to add is statistics informing you who's currently winning the specific battle in Cyrodiil or in Imperial City. Personally, I myself feel that this addition is actually not very necessary, because if the battle is not going your way, you would of course hope for more of your alliance friends to be appearing. But I think that if I see my alliance falling in a particular battle, I may think twice before traveling all the way there to partake in a losing battle, right? Of course, it depends on the situation. If you're with a huge ball group, you can confidently make your way to the location of the skirmish, even if the battle that is current is not going in favor of your alliance. But it can easily go the other way around. Right now, the lack of information may mean that there is greater traffic in situations which are dire for you. I'm just guessing. Anyway, moving on to the second point. Now, there will be an inclusion of 3 monster sets as new PvP rewards for this particular update. So I think I want to take the time to go through all 3 of them and then to have an opinion on how effective they will be if you include them in your build, right? It's all situational. So the very first one we are talking about, the Gerald Mountains Warchief set. It is something that gives you extra weapon and spell damage if you wear one piece. Wearing both pieces gives you ability to put a healing debuff on your enemy up to 35% reduced healing received. This particular set itself, I think it is a counter to Mara's Balm and to the incredible amount of healing that some of our DK and our Warden friends are receiving right now. So if you are facing frustration with people that refuse to die, you can wear this set. But I think that this set alone is not going to do it for you. Obviously, you need other gear and set to increase your attack so that while you debuff your enemy, your offense is not compromised. In my situation, I am a 1-bar build. And for those people who carry a 1-bar build, your monster set becomes very precious, right? Because you don't have that many offensive traits in your 1-bar. I use the Belloc monster set. Am I going to replace my Belloc for this? I think not. I still need my burst in order to try to hit the enemy at one go and depart after that. So it really depends on what kind of build you're going for and the situation that you find yourself in most of the time. Right, so this thing will be important to you if you have a 2-bar, I would think, and you keep facing tank metas and you have teammates around you that, you know, can offer some of that attack. Taking note also that something like this can also stack with minor and major defile, so it can be useful to go against tank builds. Another thing that's useful about this is there's nothing indicative of the number of targets that you can debuff at once. So if you can debuff a whole group of tanks in the opposing ball group, then actually this will be quite effective. You can then be at the vanguard of your group attack, you debuff the guys and then let the rest of your DPS teammates take over. Now the second set is the Nibene Bay Battle Reef set. Is quite a mouthful for me. Okay, so wearing one piece gives you additional critical resistance. Now, critical resistance can be kind of useful in the current patch because critical damage is a little bit on a meta run right now as compared to like penetration or spell damage. Lots of people are stacking up on their critical damage and their critical chance. So I think a little bit of critical resistance will be useful in PvP. Okay, wearing both pieces will allow you to gain a 15k damage shield for 5 seconds whenever you are moved by a pull, knockback or teleport ability with a 14-second cooldown. Now this ability can be stacked with your stuff like major protection, minor protection or with your existing shield. So think of this set as something that can improve your chances of surviving in a PvP battle. So the longevity will be increased. I think this set will be a little bit more useful for newbies who are still trying to figure out what kind of offensive rotation or offensive gear they're going to use, they're going to bring into a PvP battle. You want to live a little bit longer, survive a little bit longer so that your learning curve can be more fruitful. Also, if you find yourself being pulled very frequently by some chain guy in the other end of the ball group, then I guess this set would be useful for you. You cannot proc this set by teleporting yourself, apparently, so it has to come from an opposing alliance. The very last set would be the Colovian Highlands General Set Review. I'm not sure if I got that pronunciation correct, okay, but one piece gives you extra offensive penetration. Wearing both pieces, you get a stack of blood depth for 0.5 seconds when you kill an enemy player. When the stacks expire, you and up to 5 group members will gain 15 ultimate for each stack. Okay, that's quite a mouthful. So obviously, this is an offensive and a very aggressive attacking set. First off, you get some offensive penetration, which I think most monster sets don't offer this. Although, as I mentioned earlier, offensive penetration right now is not as useful as, let's say, an increase in your spell weapon damage or an increase in your critical damage, right? I have tried all three Munduses, like to boost my penetration or to boost my weapon spell damage or to boost my critical damage, and so far critical damage Mundus has yielded me the best results. This is anecdotal, of course. The mileage may differ with different players, but when I rotate the tree, I would rather go with critical damage right now in this current patch. So wearing this set allows you to actually increase the chance to get ultimate for you as well as your group members. Like, personally, I think that this is probably a better set if you work within a ball group. For solo builds itself, I'm not sure. Unless you're very dependent on ultimate. Let's say if you're a DK, you need that corrosive armor to go off really, very quickly and you've already stacked major or minor heroism. This thing will be a little bit wow, right? But if your ultimate is like, so like my Dawnbreaker ultimate, I can get it off already quite quickly. I don't see myself swapping out my Belloc for this. At the end of the day, it depends on your own build. For 1-bar builds, I feel that all three of these PvP builds will actually not be very, very effective. For 2-bar builds where you have more options to switch between the benefits of 2 gears, you can consider giving up your monster set for one of these three. Again, it's situational. Are you playing as a solo player or are you playing as a group? All three sets to me feel like they benefit or they contribute more in group play rather than solo play. Some other minor updates for PvP include some cosmetics that they're going to be introducing, some unfeathered battle body and face markings which you can obtain from like daily quests in Cyrodiil, right? I'm not very interested in these, but if they rock your boat, you can look into it. And lastly, for Imperial City, treasure scam drops will actually be inflated. You're going to get better stuff, apparently greater quantity of Telvar, and they will also drop a tradable piece of Imperial City gear. That's not gonna get me hot under the collar. I have mentioned previously that treasure scams should have better rewards. Yes, it's good that Zos is doing this, but I'm skeptical as to whether this slight improvement in the rewards is gonna get people flooding the sewers right now. How about improving the rewards for the patrolling Imperial Horrors as well, right? I think this is a little bit of a lukewarm kind of tactic, so I'm not convinced it's gonna change things much. Overall, I think the PvP improvement in this patch is good to see some sign of it, but it still flatters to deceive. And I'm not foreseeing an increased traffic in all the PvP zones within this update itself. As the rate that things are going, I think I'm better off maybe just playing Baldur's Gate more and ESO less. I don't know about you guys. Share your thoughts and comments. Are you really excited by some of these changes that are ongoing? Maybe the PvE updates will be a little bit better. The quality of life updates, they're going to have some notifications so you're not going to be overwhelmed by the quest that's coming your way. But for PvP wise, the sets are like a bit okay, and the treasure rewards are like okay, you know, so I'm not convinced. Anyway, see you guys in Tamriel. If I do see you, I should be playing a little bit less of ESO in the coming days, because Border Gate 3 is now in my crosshair. Okay, have a good day, everybody.